Several people honored one of Franklin Parish's remaining World War II veterans today. Devontae Martin spoke with him today and joins us with details. Hi, Devontae.
Jennifer, 98-year-old Winton Lofton of Winsboro was honored by the Fort Necessity High School alumni group for his service in the United States Navy.
And we're so thankful to have the opportunity to honor you today as our hero, our soldier.
The Fort Necessity High School alumni group honored World War II veteran Winton Lofton for his service Thursday. Lofton joined the U.S. Navy at 17 years old and served a total of 6 years. Before his service to our country, he says he only traveled outside of Franklin Parish 6 times.
Pulled me out of Winton, Louisiana, and I wound up going 10,000 miles away, and it was better than 2 years before I was able to come back home. A boy that had never traveled anywhere, it certainly was an experience.
Lofton still resides in Winsboro, where he now joins the alumni group for their monthly meetings. Gloria Barfield with the group says they look to continue honoring veterans.
We want to recognize all the veterans, and we're right here by the Veterans Cemetery. We've already lost several of our members who are buried here at the cemetery, and we enjoy remembering our soldiers, especially of World War II.
Lofton and his wife Marie Lofton now help build churches across the country. Jennifer?